So this section is building upon the previous section, still dealing with exponents, but now we're multiplying them. Technically, when we're multiplying them, we're actually adding them. But we still call it multiply. Excellent. So the first three things, numeric versus algebraic. This is algebraic explanation, this is in words, and this is in numbers. Okay, we're going to go through this. So words, the product of two powers. So 2 powers is raised. Raised means to the power. That's what the small number is called. That's what we call it. The sum of the exponents. What does sum mean? Yes, plus. It means add. So if we take 6 over 7 and 6 over 4, and we add the 7 and the 4, we get 6 over 11. Can we solve this problem?
Oh.
Of course we can. 6 times 6. The answer times 6. The answer times 6. The answer times 6 till we get to 11, right? However, for this section, I'm not asking you, I'm just asking you to simplify to the exponent. I don't want you to solve the actual number. You're welcome. Okay, good. Next one. This is in algebraic. It uses letters, no numbers. Okay? If A is any non-zero and M and N are integers, then it looks like this. So A is our non-zeros, okay? And M and N, we can add M and N together. I like it, because the A's are the same, right? Okay, let's go to example 1. And I want to see thumbs up and down for this, okay? Everyone?
Yeah.
Everyone. Okay, good. So 2 over 5, 2 over 6. The bases are the same, right?
Yeah.
So we can take these exponents and add them together. What is 5 plus 6?
11.
Okay, we're done. 2 over 11. Any questions on the first one?
No.
Is that the answer? 211?
Thumbs up or down?
Ow.
Wait, that's the answer?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not asking you to simplify it. I just want to see the total of the exponents. Okay, good.
Credit.
Okay, let's go to B. So we have 4 to the second minus 3 to negative 2, 4 to 5, and 3 to 6. Remember what we do with these? How do we write just this one right here? Out of curiosity. 1 over 3 over 2, and then 3 times 3.
Oh,
So it's
yeah.
1 over 36. Okay, good. We don't do that in this case because we're adding the exponents with the same bases. Okay? So basically what we want to do is we want to take this problem with all the 4s and we want to group them. Okay? Then we're going to take all the 3s and we're going to group them. Okay? So remember in Algebra 1 how you had 3x and then 3x squared, or to the power of 2, and then 3x cubed? Are any of those the same? Say no. No, because those powers mattered, right? If you had this, this is not the same thing as this, it's not the same thing as this, right? Even though they have the same numbers. Well, it's kind of the same concept here when it comes to grouping. We're trying to group the numbers together. So we're trying to group the 4s together, we're trying to group the 3s together. Are we clear? Okay, then from there we go ahead. Because we're multiplying, we add. We add our exponents. So 2 and 5. 5 and 2, which is what? Okay, and then negative 2 and 4. Okay. These are the actual steps. You want to group them, and then you want to show the step on the 4s, show the step on the 3s, and then solve. Now, the final answer, normally, but we don't have a variable, that's why I'm leaving the dot there, right? Because if we did this, that changes the entire problem. Yes? Yes. Okay, good. Let me see thumbs up or down on that one. Okay, let's go over it again. We want to put our 4s together, we want to put our 3s together. Okay, so we're grouping the base. The base is the big number. The small number is what?
Exponent.
Exponent or?
Please.
Power.
Power. Exponent or power. Okay? So that's why that word raises. We're raising it. Good. Okay. So group our 4s together. Okay? Put them in parentheses. Group our 3s together. Put them in parentheses. Okay? Then we get rid of the parentheses and we just focus on the 4s. We're not multiplying 4 times 4. We're just taking 4 and we're adding the exponents, 2 and 5.
Oh.
See that?
Yeah.
Now same thing here. We're going to put the 3 down here. Negative 2 and 6. Negative 2 and 6. Now we solve with the exponents. So 2 and 5 is 7, and negative 2 and 6 is 4. We're done. Thumbs up, down? Good. Okay.
It's just like Wait, so this is like a whole different thing now from what we were doing.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yes. Yeah. Because remember when we were doing this, we were doing
Like a number.
3x minus 6 and then 4t negative 4,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And we had to simplify this, so we left the 3 and 4 alone because that was already simplified. The x went at the bottom, that gets rid of the negative, and this one goes to the top, that's simplified. Right?
Yeah.
Negatives on the bottom go to the top, negatives on the top go on the bottom. We have to read it left to right, write it left to right. Okay, good. Now, that does play into here. Kind of, yes. Okay, good. Okay, let's look at C. We're A to 4, we're B to 5, and we're A to 2. Now, we don't have numbers, but we're still going to group the A's. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take the A4, we're going to take the A2. And then we're just going to leave the B5 by itself because there is no other B, right? So we're going to add the 4 and the 2, which is 6, and then B5. Now, notice there's no dot between these. Why is that the case?
Could be myself.
Variable next to a variable is what type of math?
Oh.
B. Okay, good. Any questions on C? Let me see them. Okay, good. Okay, now we get to numbers, okay? Remember, we're not trying to solve the numbers at the end of the day, we're just trying to solve the exponents, okay? Now this one is a little different. There's parentheses, right? So when we have parentheses here, Jose's, we're going to take the 4 and the 3, and we're going to multiply them, okay?
Alright.
See how these are in parentheses? We're adding these. If there's parentheses, now we're actually multiplying. I know this is crazy, believe it or not, when it says multiplication properties, us adding this is multiplying at the end of the day. Let's move on. Okay, so we have parentheses, right? So now we're going to take the 4 times 3. So 4 times 3 is 12, and then 7. We pull it out of the parentheses.
Alright.
Good?
Alright.
Okay, see how it's in parentheses?
Yeah.
We're going to multiply this 4 times 3, because what does parentheses mean?
Multiplication.
Yep, so I'm going to rewrite this 4 times 3, get rid of the parentheses. 4 times 3 is 12.
So 7 with the
Mhm.
Oh. Okay.
So we don't have to do anything to the base on this one. Okay. Could we solve this?
Yes.
We could.
That's the, never mind.
7 times 7 is 49. Times 7, keep going.
I know, I was doing it. That's the one I was doing.
Here we go. Okay. Now, what did I say this was?
0. Only 1.
One.
What is this?
1.
Right. Anything is 0 is 1, right? Okay, so let's think about this. Does this even matter?
No.
It doesn't. This exponent doesn't matter. Now, what if they were reversed? Would it matter?
No.
Still wouldn't matter because it'd still be 1. And whatever this number is would still be 1 at
But
the end
if
of the
there
day.
wasn't a 0 there, it'd be different.
That's correct. Then we would be doing the same thing right here. We'd be multiplying
So
it.
the answer is one.
The answer is 1. Yes.
Okay. Alright.
Okay, good. Okay, G. Let's go to H. Now, you notice this is in parentheses, right? So, the way we're going to set this problem up, we're going to leave this alone, okay? And then we're just going to take this out of parentheses and we're going to put the 4 in parentheses. Why are we doing that? Because we know that we need to take 2 times negative 4 to multiply these exponents, which is negative 8. Then we're going to bring down the negative 5. Now we're going to do the sum. The sum, right? Negative 8 and 5 is what? Now, see what just happened? Hey, 7.1. Making miracles happen, right? X, negative 3. 1, x3 at the bottom, right? Has to be in fraction form to get rid of it. This is not an answer. This is not simplified. That is simplified.
Alright.
Are we good?
Yes.
Okay, see how they went together? Amazing. Okay. Any questions on H? You want to go through it one more time?
One more time.
One more time, okay. So we're x2 inside parentheses, okay? So all I'm going to do is I'm going to put the 4 inside parentheses, and I'm going to multiply these. Negative 4 times 2, negative 8, I'm going to bring down my 5, okay? Then I'm subtract my 8 from the 5, I'm going to get negative 3. This is not done, because remember, negative exponent turns into a fraction, so x3 goes to the bottom and 1 at the top. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I. Let's look at I. Okay, not a big deal, but watch this. We have distributive property here, okay? When this is inside parentheses, this means that this 2 refers to this 3, and this 2 refers to this x, okay? That's no different than this. 3x plus 3, right? We have to multiply this by this and this by this to get our answer. We have to pull it out of parentheses. We can do the same thing here. Okay, this is how we do it. We're just going to take 2 and we're going to separate the terms. Okay? -3 inside parentheses, 2 on the outside, and then x2. So literally all I did is I pulled the 3 aside and added the 2, and took the x and added the 2. I distributed this power of 2 to both questions. Do we see that? Okay, we can solve for this, can't we? It's inside parentheses -3, right? So it's -3 times -3.
9.
Positive 9. We don't do anything with the x2. This is not simplified because we have a constant next to a variable. That is simplified. We're done. Okay? Let's look at it one more time. We're taking this 2 and we're distributing it across. We're across the number, across the variable. Okay? So I took the 2 and put it with -3, and I took the x, the 2, and the x. Right? Now from here, I'm going to go ahead and solve this because I can solve it. -3 times -3, positive 9. Bring down the x2, and then add them together, no dot, 9x2. This is simplified from this. Now look at this one. This one's a little bit different, and this is why the parentheses matter. When the negative's on the outside, your problem is negative at the end of the day. We just carry it down, we don't do anything with it. Do we see that? I brought it down to this step, this step, this step. Okay? We're going to do the same thing we did here, except we don't have parentheses. We're 3 to 2 and x to 2. See, these are the same, just without parentheses, right? So this doesn't mean a negative by a negative. This means this answer is negative no matter what the result is.
What if the 3x is a negative?
We just did it. So the parentheses matter, right? What if it's the negative is inside the parentheses, it means a negative by a negative. If the negative's on the outside, the result is negative no matter what. Okay? So once again, 3 times 3 is 9. Bring down the x2, add them together. We just carry the negative down. It's negative if it's negative on the outside, no matter what. Any questions? You see the difference here and why it matters? It matters. This is negative, negative. This is negative no matter what. Can I give you a little tip? If this number right here is even versus odd, that's basically telling you whether it's negative or positive.
Odd is negative.
Correct.
Positive.
Yeah, because you're going to have negative, negative, turns it positive, times a negative, or vice versa. Right? Okay, any questions on these two? Let me see them. Good, good. All right, K, and then I forgot E. We need to go through E too. I did that again today too. Okay. So just like this one, this actually is the same thing, okay? We're going to take this 3 and we're going to distribute it in all terms inside the parentheses, okay? So we're going to leave this in parentheses, okay? And we're going to bring the 3 on the outside, then we're going to take y over 0 and 3. Does this even matter?
No.
It doesn't matter, no. Because this is all 1 no matter what happens, right? So we just need to focus on this one. Well, what is -2 times 3? Good. Does this even matter?
Nope.
No. However, look what happens here. This is x -6, right? So this is just like this one. The 1 is arbitrarily going to be up there any which way. This one doesn't even matter because this 1 times x to -6 is still x -6. So x6 goes at the bottom, fraction form, we're done. Okay? Let's talk about this one. Believe it or not, when we covered scientific notation, this is the same thing, just combined, all right? So you notice how we put the 4s and the 3s together when we grouped? We're going to do the same thing here. So it's saying distance equals rate times time, right? Covered that in the previous lesson. So we have something in scientific notation. This one's not in scientific notation, so we need to put this one in scientific notation. Do you remember how to do that? Oh boy. Okay, so we're writing 5 times 10. How many zeros are there?
2.
2. So it's 5 times 10 and 2 over 2. Okay? Why do I feel like you guys didn't get 7-2 for some reason? Scientific notation. Jose, you were here, but maybe the 2 of you weren't here?
I don't think I was here.
Okay. We might want to cover that again or have you guys go look at the lecture on that one. But let's finish this one. So now we have these both in scientific notation, right? So now we're going to group them. We're going to group these two numbers together, okay? The 1.8 the 1.86 and the 5. We're going to group those together, and now we're going to group the exponents, 10, 5, and 10, 2. Here we're doing the same thing. We're just adding it. 5 and 2 is 7. 1.86 times 5, 9.3. We're done with the problem.
I see the thing.
Okay? Any questions?
No.
Let's talk about the do now. What are we doing here?
Times
Yep. What's 8 plus 4?
8 plus 4.
Uh-huh. What's 8 plus 4?
12.
12. So this is 7 over 12?
7, 12.
Okay, don't be the 1. I have a question. We can group these, right?
Just 1, 2, 1.
What is going on with this one right here?
Numbering. That's all.
Okay,
Next one.
but what is it? What's it to the value of? Very good. So this is M1 and this is M4. What's the result of that?
5.
Very good. M5. Nothing happened with this, right? So didn't I just give the answer number 2? Yes. Group the 3s, group the 5s, solve it. I want to talk about this one.
Wait, that first one, so it'll be 1 and 7.
What do you, this one?
Yeah.
8 and 4. 7 over 12. 7 to the power of 12.
That's it? Alright.
Yep. Group the M's, add the N. Group the 3s, group the 5s. Okay?
Oh, that's probably, that's the one.
Okay, let's look at this one. What's this one right here?
1.
X to the,
1.
okay? Minus, 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 right? So the way we're going to do this is just like this one right here. We're y to the second, y4, okay? So we're going to group our positive ones together, 2 and 1. Why is it 2 and 1? Everything's always to the power of 1, right? And it's positive. Then we bring down the 4. So we're going to deal with our positive ones first, 2 and 1, 3, and then negative 4. Then what's going to happen? This is 3 minus 4, which is negative 1, and then you guys know this forces it to a fraction, right?
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to go through this one more time? Or do we have it?
Have it.
Positives together, negatives. So we group the positives, then the negative, and then we go ahead and solve for it. Remember, this is a negative power, so we have to write it as a fraction. Remember, we don't show the 1 here. Why not?
Here's 1.
Yeah, it's like that imaginary 1, right? We don't put a 1 in front of the y either. Okay, so knowing that, let's look at this one real quick. So we're going to have the x all by itself, right? And then we're going to group all our negatives. So negative 1, negative 3, negative 4, right? Well, that's 4, 7, 8, right? 8, negative 8, what? Well, positive, right? So it's negative 7, right? So this becomes 1 over x, 7, right? In fraction form, because we've got to get rid of that negative. Same thing we did here, right? 2 and 1 is 3, y is negative 4, okay? So 3 minus 4 is 1. It's negative. We turn it to a fraction.
Wait, we got 7 from.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plus 1. 8 minus 8 plus 1. 7. Okay, good. Okay, good talk. Here, just multiply these, right? Do we even need to do anything here? What's the answer to this? Amazing. What about this one right here? Got a whole lot going on, right? Not really.
This is 3 times the 4.
All we have to do is multiply these. 4 times 3, which is 12. Now, which we didn't have an example, but it is in the do now. That's a negative exponent times a negative exponent. What's the answer?
Positive X.
Very good, positive exponent. The rules still apply.
This would be a positive 6.
Positive 6 and 12. What's 6 and 12? Your time to shine. 6 and 12.
18.
Amazing. A, 18. Didn't we just do the do now all together?
Yes.
You're welcome. Okay, make sure that you turn it in. You have the notes done. When you're done, start to work on the worksheet, okay?
What worksheet? Oh.
The worksheet's on the back side of your notes.